What if your plastic bottles weren't trash, but the beginning of something beautiful? Welcome to Garden Crafts, a place where recycled dreams take root and ordinary things blossom into pure joy. In today's video, we're sharing 20 magical garden decor ideas made from plastic bottles, each one cute, clever, and surprisingly easy to create at home. From floating ducks and bottle bunnies to flamingo parades and vertical flower walls, these ideas are bursting with charm. And yes, they're all DIY friendly. These aren't glossy, fake edits. They're real, handcrafted projects you can make with what's already in your recycling bin. They bring nature and imagination together, so your garden becomes not just a place to grow, but a place to smile. Subscribe to join our growing family of creative gardeners. Tap like if these ideas inspire you, and share your favorite creation in the comments. We'd love to hear which one made your heart skip. Now, take a deep breath, step into the sunshine, and let's build a garden full of magic together. At first glance, it looks like a colorful mural, a tapestry of greens, reds, and purples flowing down a sunny garden wall. But step closer and you'll see the magic. Row upon row of humble plastic bottles, transformed into vessels of life. The vertical bloom wall is not just a space-saving wonder. It's a love letter to the earth. Each bottle, once bound for trash heap, now cradles fresh soil and a tender seedling. Marigolds lean lazily toward the sun. Mint brushes the air with its scent. Nasturtiums tumble gently downward in a soft cascade. It's a project that begins with simplicity. Bottles are sliced across the belly, small drainage holes pierced below, and mounting holes marked on each end. With twine, wire, or zip ties, you string them along wooden slats, bamboo frames, or even chain link fences. Then, you fill them with soil, dark, fresh, forgiving, and tuck in a seedling like placing a dream into the earth. Over the days, the wall begins to bloom. Bees buzz lazily in and out of the layers. Children water from the top and watch the trickle make its way down. Every plant becomes a part of the bigger picture, a celebration of upcycling and renewal. And for tiny yards or apartments with no ground to till, this wall becomes a lush, living alternative. You don't need acres, only sunlight, patience, and purpose. It's not just gardening. It's storytelling on a vertical stage. A wall that reminds everyone who passes by that growth can happen anywhere, even in the cast-off remnants of yesterday's soda bottle. Grow up, grow green, and let your wall become the garden of second chances. In the middle of a tulip-filled patch, nestled like a secret among the blooms, two wide-eyed bunnies sit happily in the sun. They don't twitch or nibble, but they radiate charm and kindness with every painted smile. They were once just old milk jugs, forgotten, empty, now reborn as garden friends who guard the flowers with gentle joy. This DIY plastic bunny tulip patch is a celebration of innocence and imagination. Using large white plastic containers like gallon milk bottles or detergent jugs, you can carve out shapes that mimic chubby little bunny bodies. The ears? Simply cut tall flaps and bend them gently upright. A dab of pink paint brings them to life. Add googly eyes or draw soft lashes. A painted button nose and a few whiskers. And suddenly, the garden is smiling back at you. Each bunny can serve as a flower pot or a sweet sculpture nestled among real blooms. Fill them with dirt and tuck in tulips, pansies, or wildflowers. Let them hide beneath snapdragons like quiet companions in a garden storybook. They're wonderful for springtime celebrations or Easter gardens, but truthfully, they bring warmth in any season. Children love giving each bunny its own expression. Grandparents smile, remembering hand-drawn rabbits from storybooks. And visitors always pause, not because it's grand, but because it's gentle. Crafting these bunnies is an invitation to slow down, to see life not in waste, but in whimsy, to laugh with paint on your fingers, to turn what was forgotten into something to be admired. Let your garden be their meadow, and let your heart enjoy the peaceful joy of small, simple beauty. Down the winding path of a cheerful garden, a flamboyant parade is taking place. Bright pink necks rise from tufts of grass, curved like question marks filled with joy. Feet hidden in petals, wings made of cut plastic, and heads tilted just so. These flamingos aren't real, but they feel alive. The whimsical bottle flamingo parade begins with one empty bottle. A simple vessel once filled with soda, now reimagined into an exotic garden dancer. With a soft stroke of paint, pink in all its shades, you can sculpt these gentle creatures into artful companions for your walkway. The process is lighthearted. Cut the bottle to shape the curved neck, reinforce it with wire or a bamboo stick. Then attach to a recycled body base. Paint their long legs directly on rust-resistant rods and stand them tall among the blooms. A touch of white and black for the face, and they're ready to strut. Line them along a garden path. Let them peek from behind bushes or march proudly in a line. Their brightness catches sunlight and eyes. Children giggle. Birds take notice. And even hurried guests slow their steps to smile. These flamingos aren't just about color. They're about character. Each one can wear a hat, hold a flower in its beak, or tilt its head curiously. And the best part? No two need to be the same. Creating them feels like writing a garden story in motion. One that invites laughter, celebrates color, and proves that elegance can be made, not bought. So, take that empty bottle, curve it, color it, and place it in your garden. Then watch your flamingo flock grow, one pink step at a time. Imagine standing under a pergola, warm sunlight casting shadows across wooden beams, and above you, flowers float, not in silence, but with joyful movement, swaying gently in the breeze. This isn't a chandelier from a store. It's crafted from soda bottles once bound for the landfill, now suspended in grace, dripping with color and fragrance. The hanging bottle flower chandelier turns trash into treasure, light into art, and your garden into poetry. Each bottle is cut, shaped, and cleaned. Then it's transformed into a small hanging planter. Painted or left transparent, they are looped through ropes, accented with hand-tied tassels or beads, and hung at varying heights for a dynamic cascade. Fill them with bright blooms, trailing petunias, baby's breath fuchsia, or herbs like lavender and mint. Let each bottle catch the light, reflect the sky, and become a floating stage for flowers to dance on. What makes this project magical is its rhythm, the way the planters shift with the wind, like petals breathing, the way visitors glance up and find beauty overhead, the way color rains down softly, without ever falling. To hang them securely, choose strong twine, jute, or macrame cord. Use hooks on pergolas, balconies, or tree branches. If you wish, add pebbles or moss inside for extra charm and balance. This chandelier doesn't just decorate, it invites upward wonder. It reminds us that beauty can come from above, from simplicity, from effort reimagined. So let your garden bloom, not only around you, but above you. Let each hanging bottle become a note in a floral wind chime. Quiet, swaying, and full of light, perched quietly at the edge of the garden, just beside the zinnias, stands a feathered sentinel. Its eyes wide and alert, its body still but full of stories. This is a recycled owl guardian, not a real bird, but a sculpture spirit, shaped from a simple plastic bottle, watching over the blossoms like a timeless protector. To build this majestic creature, all you need is one clear bottle, a pair of thoughtful hands, and a dash of imagination. The body remains whole, but is layered with cut feather shapes made from other plastics, curved, scalloped, painted in earthy browns or vibrant hues. Its round eyes are large, made from bottle caps or lids. The beak, a triangle painted bright orange. And if you wish, let a few succulents sprout from the top, as if the owl wears a leafy crown. Place your owl in a quiet corner, on a tree stump beside flower beds, or at the edge of a child's play path. Let it stand where sunlight filters through leaves, catching glints on its wings. Give a little spade or watering can nearby, and it becomes not just a statue, but a gardener's quiet friend. What makes this owl special is the emotion it carries. It looks wise, yes, but also kind. It carries with it the essence of old forest myths and new garden beginnings. For children, it's a magical being. For grown-ups, a pause, a reminder of how easily beauty comes from care. With every glance, you remember, what we throw away still holds potential. Still watches, still waits. Invite an owl into your garden, and let it stand guard over your dreams. In a sun-drenched garden corner where marigolds spill like sunshine onto the soil, a cheerful flock of hens has come home to roost. But look closer, and you'll find these birds don't cluck or peck. They're crafted with care, lovingly shaped from recycled plastic bottles. Each one perched proudly in a bed of blooms. The chickens in a bottle nest are more than quirky decor. They're characters full of personality. With wide googly eyes, vibrant red crests, and wings painted in strokes of whimsy, each hen seems to tell its own tale. Their bodies, once soda bottles, are now upcycled into planters. Nestled inside, a burst of flowers, begonias, petunias, or even baby's breath, rising like feathers in full plume. Creating them is joyful work. Cut the bottles in half, or leave them whole with an opening on top. Paint their bodies white, yellow, or speckled brown. Add cardboard or plastic cutouts for wings, beaks, and combs. Use bottle caps for eyes. Then plant surprise in each one. Something bright, something fragrant, something growing. Cluster them in a group or scatter them through the flower beds. Let them sit in cozy circles of straw-colored blooms, like nests full of golden eggs. Others can stand near veggie patches, as if they're busy on garden duty. Children will name them. Guests will laugh. And you'll feel the warmth of a garden that smiles back. These hens don't lay eggs, but they hatch joy. They turn waste into wonder. And in their quirky stillness, they remind us that even the simplest creations can bring the heart alive. Beneath the quiet shade of garden wall, 3 little cats sit side by side. They don't meow. They don't chase butterflies. But they do bring joy, silent, sweet, and wonderfully handmade. These are bottle cats for succulent pots, recycled companions with painted faces and plants for tails. Each begins its life as a common plastic bottle. But through scissors, paint, and a bit of gentle imagination, it's transformed into a purring pot of happiness. The bottom half of the bottle becomes the body. 2 small arches make ears. Paint brings a cat to life. Sleepy eyes, perked whiskers, a button nose. Each one has a personality. Shy, bold, playful, calm. Inside their heads, succulents thrive. Plump jade leaves, silver stripe Worthia, or blushing sedum. Their compact roots and low water needs make them the perfect match. These cats, after all, prefer sunbathing and watching the world go by. Line them along a windowsill. Let them sunbathe on a stone bench, or gift them to a friend who needs a quiet smile. Each one is different, and that's the charm. You can even make them in themes. Rainbow cats, sleepy cafe cats, or jungle catbots with trailing vines. To keep them healthy, poke small drainage holes in the bottom, and add a spoonful of gravel before the soil. A mist of water now and then, and they'll stay content for weeks. This project is gentle, calming, and full of quiet delight. A moment of creativity that lingers. And every time you walk by and catch those painted eyes, you'll remember that joy, like a cat in the sun, can be small, still, and deeply satisfying. Marching proudly across the lawn, a row of rosy-cheeked piggies brings instant cheer to the garden. They're not here to dig, not here to grunt. They're here to smile, tiny snouts lifted toward the sun, tails curled in happiness. This is the Backyard Bottle Piggy Parade, and every member is crafted with love from a plastic bottle once forgotten. Each pig begins as a simple shape, the rounded body of a 2-liter soda bottle. Turn on its side, cut small ear flaps, glue on circular feet, and twist a bit of wire for that signature tail. The soft pink paint gives a charming farmyard feel, and with every detail, the nostrils, the eyes, the little smiles, the piggies come alive. Some carry succulents. Others cradle trailing flowers. A few just stand as they are, joyful and round, lined up like a garden celebration. Place them under rose bushes, beside stone paths, or among marigolds to create a whimsical farmyard illusion. These piglets are perfect for families. Children love giving each one a name. Parents enjoy crafting together. And visitors can't help but laugh when they stumble across a pig parade among the flowers. They remind us of play, of lightness, of how even the most disposable things, like an empty bottle, can be reborn into something that holds both soil and soul. Create a few or create many. Add spots, hats, flowers. Let them become your garden's own little chorus of joy. And next time you hear someone say, "It's just a bottle," smile, because you'll know better. You'll see a piggy waiting to come to life. Just beyond the daisies, Something curious perches on the garden post. It wears a shiny silver coat, wide eyes full of wonder, and a tail that flares like a firework behind it. No, it didn't fall from the stars. It was made here at home. This is a space squirrel with a bushy tail, a playful garden guest shaped from imagination and plastic bottles. It began with a bottle, clear, smooth, and empty, but where others saw waste, you saw potential. The body became the suit. Silver paint gave it cosmic charm. The tail? A swirl of carefully cut plastic ribbons, curled and layered until it puffed like a comet's trail. Its face is full of spirit. 2 caps for eyes, a small painted snout, maybe even a paper visor or chest patch. Some wear backpacks. Some hold nuts made from caps and twine. Each squirrel is its own explorer, landing not on Mars, but on the soft soil of your flower patch. Place it where it catches the light, on a stump, among the herbs, peeking from behind zinnias. Children will squeal, grown-ups will pause. And your garden? It gains a guardian from beyond. This craft doesn't just reuse, it uplifts. It whispers to the child within, reminding us that play belongs in every corner of life. That garden can hold not just blooms, but stories. So build your space squirrel. Launch it from your kitchen table to your backyard. And let it stand proudly, its bushy tail shimmering with each breeze. A little astronaut, forever orbiting joy. Just past the arch of the garden gate, a flash of orange catches the eye. There he sits, alert, proud, and charmingly still. A small fox, not a fur and breath, but a bottle and brush. The DIY fox bottle greeter is here to say hello. Not with a bark or a pounce, but with quiet warmth and playful presence. His body began as a soda bottle, light and clear, with careful curves and painted layers. He was transformed into a creature of character, a coat of bright orange acrylic, tipped with white at the snout and tail. Pointy ears shaped from cut plastic. Eyes, soft or sly, drawn to match his role. The quiet guardian of your garden's entrance. What makes this project beautiful isn't just the craft, it's the placement. Set your fox just beside a path, a pot, or a porch step. Let him greet guests before a word is spoken. Maybe he leans against a welcome sign. Maybe he holds a little bouquet. His presence is simple but sincere. The tail, wide, curled, perhaps layered from bottle ribbons or a shaped foam piece, adds balance and personality. You can even wrap fairy lights around him for an evening glow. And if you have more bottles, make a vixen or a playful kit to join him. He brings storybook energy to any space. Children stop to wave. Adults smile without thinking. And you remember what happens when care meets creativity. In a world that often rushes, the fox slows us down. He invites kindness. He turns trash into tenderness. So give your garden greeter, a friend, a fox, and let him watch over blooms, breeze, and belonging. In a quiet garden nook, the air shimmers with movement, not from wind alone, but from a school of fantastical fish. They hover above the flower beds, suspended mid-swim, as if a coral reef has come to visit the backyard. These are not sea creatures, but creations, each one born from a plastic bottle, reshaped, repainted, and given a second life. The underwater bottle fish display is an imaginative celebration of motion and color. It begins with empty bottles, soda, water, whatever's available. Their bodies are trimmed, shaped into sleek silhouettes. Their fins are snipped from curved bottle sides or layered paper. A splash of paint, ocean blues, coral reds, lemony yellows, transforms a blank surface into joyful, swimming characters. Hang them from wires, twine, or fishing line above a flower bed, patio, or garden arch. Let them dart and dance with every breeze. Add painted eyes, smiling mouths, or even scales using textured brushstrokes. Some might carry a tiny air plant in their tail. Others may glisten with glitter, a nod to moonlight on waves. Their charm lies in their illusion. They float, but they're anchored. They're plastic, yet full of spirit. They bring an underwater fantasy to land, where flowers mimic coral and sunbeams replace sea currents. This project is perfect for kids, for artists, for dreamers. It's not just about recycling. It's about building an atmosphere where imagination breathes freely. So dive in, create your school, And watch your garden turn into a sea of smiles, where fish fly, bottles bloom, and nothing is ever truly thrown away. Just past the herbs and beside the tomatoes, there stands a goat, not a bleating, jumping, grass-munching one, but a bottle-bodied guardian of the garden. This is the Garden Goat and Bottle Farmyard, a delightful DIY corner where imagination plows the soil and whimsy grows freely. The goat's body is made from 2 plastic bottles, one as the belly, the other as a head. Its legs are trimmed from sturdy tubes, glued on with care. But what gives it charm are the details. Big, curious eyes made from caps, a beard from raffia or twine, and curled paper horns that spiral like question marks toward the sky. Paint it white with spots of brown or soft gray. Give it a collar, maybe even a name tag, Lily or Mr. Ba. Around the centerpiece, build your tiny farm. Add piggy bottle planters, chickens guarding marigolds, and a fox or duck or 2. Line the edge with a mini bottle farm sign. Suddenly, your vegetable patch becomes a lively barnyard, filled with character and joy. It's more than decoration. It's storytelling. Each creature has a role. The goat watching the veggies, the pigs near the roots, the chickens pecking at imaginary feed. Children love visiting. Grown-ups smile knowingly. And you, the maker, become a farmer delight. This project speaks gently. That beauty doesn't need perfection. That joy can be pieced together from leftovers. That imagination, when planted with care, grows into something both meaningful and magical. So build your goat, shape your animals, and create a farmyard where vegetables grow side by side with dreams, tended by creatures who once lived as trash, now standing proudly under the sun. Hidden between basil and thyme, in the quietest corner of the garden, there's a picnic in progress. A mouse twitches his nose. Another clutches a painted cheese wedge. A third peeks out from behind a marigold, its tiny eyes twinkling. But these aren't real mice. They're crafted bottle friends, enjoying the most delightful pretend feast. The cheesy mouse picnic with bottles turns the ordinary into the irresistible, using small plastic containers. Think shampoo bottles, travel-size spritzers, or cut-down soda bottles. You can sculpt a colony of curious, cheese-loving companions. Their ears are painted on circles or glued felt. Their tails are spirals of twine or plastic wire. Eyes can be beads, buttons, or tiny dots of marker. The cheese? Get creative. Use a block of wood painted bright yellow with polka dots for holes, or craft a cheese platter from old cardboard. Place the mice as if they've just scampered into a party. One nibbling, one climbing, one dozing with a flower for a blanket. What makes this project so special is the storytelling it invites. It's not just a sculpture, it's a scene. A secret, miniature gathering in your garden. Children will lean in to find all the mice. Guests will chuckle when they spot the cheese thief. And you'll be reminded of the gentle joy of make-believe. Scatter your picnic among flower pots, on a raised bed ledge, or under a low bush. The more hidden it feels, the more magical it becomes. So go on, gather your bottles, your brushes, and your sense of play. Let the garden host a picnic only the whimsical ones will ever find. Along the garden trail, a gentle procession marches with quiet purpose. They don't trumpet or stomp, but they do bring life with every pour. These are the bottle elephants, watering helpers with painted hides, kind eyes, and trunks that offer water to thirsty roots. The elephant bottle watering trail is both practical and poetic, a playful way to keep your plants nourished and your spirit lifted. Crafted from large plastic bottles, each elephant begins with a cut and a curve. The main body forms the belly, sturdy and balanced. The neck of the bottle becomes the trunk, long and slightly downward, perfect for pouring. With paint, give them soft gray tones, blues, or pastels. Add eyes and ears from recycled materials, perhaps foam or painted cardboard. You can fill each one manually or use a slow drip system. Insert tiny holes near the tip of the trunk for a steady watering trickle. Line them along flower beds or place them beside vegetable patches. When the sun gets too hot, these elephants bring relief. A sip of water, drop by drop. What makes them so endearing isn't just their function, but their personality. Some might wear flower garlands. Others might carry tiny signs with names like Luna or Sippy. Over time, They become part of the garden family. Not just tools, but companions in the care of green life. Children will laugh as they fill the elephants' backs with water. Grown-ups will appreciate the gentle irrigation. And you'll know you've done something simple yet full of meaning, turning waste into water bearers and trash into tenderness. So line them up, let them march, and let your garden bloom under the careful watch of recycled trunks. Deep in the shadow of a blooming bush, past the last petal of a daze in the curve of a mossy stone, lies a world not meant to be seen but created. Tiny homes with flower-top roofs, bottle-cap windows that glow in sunlight, and winding pebble paths where imagination quietly walks. Welcome to the fairy bottle village in miniature world, where forgotten plastics become homes for daydreams. Start with small plastic bottles, water, lotion, or vitamin drink containers. Trim them into rounded cottages. Paint their walls with soft pastels or woodland tones. The roof? A crafted cone made of bark, leaves, or pine cone scales. Add tiny wooden doors, pebble steps, or twigs for ladders. Each house becomes a character. Shy, cheerful, cozy, wise. Place the village in a quiet corner of your garden, beneath a leafy tree or near your flower beds. Create winding paths from gravel or sand. Tuck in handmade accessories, a bottle cap well, a button mushroom patch, or tiny clotheslines made of string. Add tea lights inside for evenings, and the whole village begins to glow. This project isn't rushed. It unfolds gently, like storytelling with your hands. One day a new house. Another day, a swing made from a spoon handle. You build not just objects, but atmosphere. And with each piece, the space becomes more magical. Children believe fairies live there. Adults wish they could. And you, the maker, find peace in every detail. Because even in a world of noise, there's still room for small, beautiful silence. So craft slowly, place carefully, and watch your garden bloom not just in color, but in wonder. Along the edge of the planter box, a curious trail winds through herbs and morning dew. But look closer. These aren't snails from the soil. They're joyful bursts of color, tiny garden guests crafted from the overlooked and thrown away. These are the colorful snail bottle planters, and with them, your garden gains not just decoration, but delight. Each snail begins with a humble plastic bottle. One half forms the body, gently curved and painted with a cheerful smile. The shell is a curled coil of cut plastic or a half bottle painted in spirals. In that shell, a small succulent grows. Round leaves, soft greens, sometimes edged in pink. A living companion carried on the snail's back. Use bottle caps or beads to the eyes, perched on pipe cleaner stalks or plastic antennae. Paint their bodies in bright tones, sunny yellow, ocean blue, soft lavender. Make a family of them. Give them names. Place them where feet tread lightly, beside walkways, near herbs, around stepping stones. The effect is immediate. A child giggles. A guest leans in. A gardener pauses. They're tiny sculptures that feel like a secret. Not flashy, but full of charm. And they're functional, too. Succulents love the compact space. Just ensure there are small holes beneath for drainage, and water gently, letting the snails do their silent work. Carrying beauty 1 inch at a time. In a world that rushes, the snail teaches us to slow down. That even the smallest creatures, even the slowest, can carry something precious. So gather your bottles, curl their shapes, and plant joy inside. Let your garden whisper, not shout, and let these snails show you how. In the middle of a quiet backyard, where wildflowers hum and grasses wave gently in the breeze, a tree grows, not from roots, but from imagination. Its branches glisten in shades of flamingo pink and cherry blossom red. And instead of leaves, it blooms with bottles. This is a flaming bottle tree installation, a garden centerpiece that sings with creativity, color, and courage. It starts with a post, a wooden beam, a sturdy pole, or even a salvaged branch anchored into the soil. Around it, recycled plastic bottles are arranged, some as branches, others as blossoms. Each one is painted in shades of pink, coral, magenta. Cut their edges to mimic feather tips, or leave them smooth to catch the sun like glass. Affix the bottles to branches, wires, or spiral rods, creating a dynamic, upward movement. Let them fan out like tropical fronds or upward like fireworks. Add soft white lighting inside for a glow at dusk. Beneath it, circle stones or mulch, and plant a ring of low blooms, alyssum, marigolds, or purple pansies, to frame this garden sculpture in life. The tree doesn't just decorate, it transforms. It reclaims waste and makes it noble. What was once forgotten becomes a beacon of joy, visible from across the lawn, whispering, "Look what can grow when we care enough to create." It's perfect for school gardens, public spaces, or your own backyard haven. It invites conversation. It invites admiration. And above all, it invites hope. So gather the pinks, the reds, the empty bottles, and tired poles. Build it bold. Build it beautifully. And let your garden rise in flaming color toward the sky. Suspended above a wave of blooming flowers, they sway gently in the breeze, a joyful gathering of pets who never bark, never meow, but always smile. Made from bottles and brushes, twine and tenderness, these are the hanging garden pets from bottles. Playful companions that turn the air above your garden into a gallery of warmth. Each begins with an ordinary bottle, but soon it becomes something more. A floppy-eared dog with a tongue sticking out, a wide-eyed cat in mid-purr, even a curious bunny or bear. With scissors, shape the ears. With paint, bring them to life. Little noses, whiskers, cheerful grins. Then add twine or rope and hang them lovingly from pergolas, balcony rails, or overhanging tree branches. Inside, plant succulents or cascading vines. Let green spill from the pet's back like a wagging tail. The movement of leaves in the breeze adds a touch of magic, as if the pet itself is alive and playing. They're not just decor. They're friends. Children wave to them. Neighbors ask about them. And every time you look up, there's something sweetly watching over your blooms. They become characters in your garden story. Guardians of the sunlit hours, floating just above the soil they protect. And they teach so much, that a bottle can be a pet, that trash can become treasure, and that joy, real, tangible joy, can hang from a simple string. So make one, then two, then a full family of furry, funny friends. Let them dangle, spin, and greet the world with charm. Because your garden deserves more than flowers. It deserves to smile.